So this is a case of a spillover cost, negative externality. Maybe from driving. Okay. Driving actually causes two kinds of externalities, okay? Congestion, pollution. Okay. So if I do this, if I shift this up until it's MPC2, okay, when do you shift MPC upwards? What kind of policy is that? Tax, very good. Can you propose the tax that we use to control congestion? ERP, because road tax is not so sensitive to whether you contribute to congestion, right? ERP is. What about tax to curb pollution? Right. COE is a rule/regulation, not really a tax in that sense. If I find something really targeted, maybe petrol, also a bit more indirect. Do you know we have carbon taxation in Singapore? If you buy a car that has more carbon emissions, you are taxed more. Alright, so find one that really addresses this problem. Here you can say carbon taxation. Okay. Very good. So you crossed the first hurdle. Okay. Second. What about this case? Okay. MSC drops. What does that mean? You see, when MSC drops, we are actually now more tolerant of driving. The socially efficient level is not so high anymore. It's not so low anymore. We are more tolerant, which means the day weight loss is smaller. So when does this happen? Instead of shifting MPC up, I'm pushing my MSC down while holding my MPC. That can only mean one thing. MPC is unchanged. So what has changed? Yes, it's become smaller. So when you shift this down, you're actually reducing MEC. So how can you reduce MEC? Very good. Technology, cleaner cars, better catalytic converters, maybe. So reduce pollution. As a result, you're not so intolerant to the effects of driving. Singapore makes it mandatory for cars to have catalytic converters. Okay? And they also make it mandatory for cars that are above 10 years of age to be sent for regular servicing. Okay? Because old cars tend to have worse emission problems. You know a lot of people are buying older cars now? Because the economy is not doing well, cars are very expensive, so they are buying cars that are more than 10 years of age. They extend the COE period. What does that tell you? If there is a company that does car servicing, their business will go up because it's complementary, right? And older cars need to be serviced more regularly. It so happens that in Singapore, there's one firm doing it. It's a monopoly, VCom. So a lot of people investing in stocks like to buy this because they say, wow, looking ahead, the business will go up. Okay? So sometimes buying stocks is demand and supply, right? Yeah. Okay, how do you reduce MEC in the case of congestion? You can widen your highways, widen your roads. Do you see that happening? Yes. Yes, Lornie Road, Farrer Road, okay? So we see a lot of highways being expanded also. So even if a car breaks down, you still have 4 other lanes. Unless the collision is so bad it will cross 3 lanes, then hopefully not, okay? Okay. Regular car servicing also lowers the risk of malfunctioning cars or breakdowns. It also reduces the risk of traffic congestions. Suddenly, all the policies make a lot more sense when you check their effects on the diagram. It's not essay one, but I hope you also see that. Okay. The third one The third one captures. Okay, the third one is a fall in MPB. Oh. When does that happen? When does MPB drop? Sorry? Sub is correct. Subs is correct. Substitutes. When you have substitutes, okay? Okay? Substitutes will lower the demand, like public transport. Okay? So when you offer substitutes, you can say the demand for cars drop, so your MPB shifts to the left. You reduce the extent of consumption of cars or overconsumption. Okay, some students are not so familiar with, hey, MPB is the demand curve, but if you are from EJ or RI, you should be quite familiar with this. MPB is always seen as demand. Okay. Questions?
If there's a substitute, then it increases MPs.
If there is a substitute, it won't.
Subsidy.
If there is a subsidy, yeah.
Then it's MPC.
Yeah, then it worsens the problem. But I can think of one example. Let me talk about that. Can you have a question? The tax will shift MPC up. Because MPB is usually the benefit you get from